So if you're thinking about hopping on the lily pad trend, experts say be strategic, build transferable skills, document your wins, and make sure every jump moves you closer to your goals.
The Edge at 11 starts now.
And tonight on The Edge, it's been 5 days since Charlie Kirk, co-founder of Turning Point USA, was gunned down while speaking at a university in Utah.
Vigils and memorials have been popping up all over the world, including right here in Metro Detroit.
Fox 2's Dave Spencer was at a ceremony held at Oakland University tonight. And Dave, I understand there were some protesters there, but everything did seem peaceful, thank goodness.
Yeah, it got a little tense at times, but right now all is quiet here on the campus of Oakland University. There was much police presence felt all throughout the evening, helicopter flying overhead the entire event. There were drones up there. There were snipers on the roof of the buildings near all of where this took place. There were even plainclothes officers mingled in with the crowd. That's according to the sheriff. Hundreds of people in attendance at this vigil for Charlie Kirk. The vigil itself put on by students here at the university with the permission of the university, but attended by people of all ages. We saw families, people pushing strollers, bringing their children to listen to several speakers who spoke about honoring Kirk's memory, of continuing to speak their opinion, even if that's met with opposition. And at 8 o'clock, that's when candles were raised in honor of the vocal activist and the founder of Turning Point. It was on a college campus in Utah, in fact, where he was shot and killed as he spoke at one of his events. In the aftermath of his death, it's clear there are many emotions that are felt, both for the manner of his death and what he stood for. As for the heavy police presence, some felt comforted knowing they were being watched, by others a little uneasy about why those police had to be here in the first place. It happened at a college campus. You're a college student. This could happen anywhere at any time. Are you hesitant to go to places like this because of that, or not really, or what do you think?
Me personally, not really, but I know I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of people that say, like, hey, what if something happens? We're worried if something happens. We shouldn't go. We should stay inside. Fights might break out. People might get mad about what happened, and what happened at college campus. Like what happened at that college campus, something like that could happen. But with the amount of police presence we seem like we're protected, so we feel safe.
It's a lot. It's a lot for I don't know. Maybe the police guessed the scale of this event, but the rest of the campus definitely not.
Yeah, and mentioning those counter-protesters, just as the event began, we watched a crowd of them, about a dozen or so, maybe 2 dozen, walk through the steps outside of the tower there, the Elliott Tower, where all this was taking place, and kind of make their way into the crowd. There were some tense moments where those two sides clashed, but police made a barrier standing in between them, so when things did get heated, it got de-escalated pretty quickly, and then the vigil and the protest continued side by side. As for who put this on, it was 2 student groups, 2 Republican student groups, here on the campus of OU. They reached out shortly after Kirk's death, mentioning they wanted to do something like that. The university granted them the time and the place and made sure that they had enough security in place to hold an event of this size. And obviously things went off peacefully, thankfully. We did get wind that there will be another demonstration happening in Shelby Township. The organizer of that event came up to me and he said already over 1,000 people have RSVP'd to attend that event that's coming up in Shelby Township on Wednesday. More details on that to come. Reporting now live on the campus of Oakland University, Dave Spencer on The Edge.
Dave, you have to wonder now, is that the new normal, seeing all of the police presence at these university events, whether someone is speaking or there's a tribute? Is this just the political violence and where we are?
Yeah, unfortunately, that may be the case. We spoke to Sheriff Bouchard, the Oakland County Sheriff, who says that even events like, the state fair, the county fair, or, arts, beats and eats, things of that nature, that they're planning for these. They're having officers positioned in buildings, keeping an eye on things. They have bomb-sniffing dogs going through the crowd. So, yes, I think people, if they're attending these events where there's any sort of controversy attached to it, they can expect to see a large presence going forward.
Well, I guess it's going to bring people peace of mind at the very least. Thanks, Dave.
Well, Kirk's family and friends are preparing to say goodbye for the last time, working on details for his memorial and funeral. His organization, Turning Point USA, confirms a memorial service will be held next Sunday at State Farm Stadium in Arizona. President Donald Trump says he'll be attending.
A tragic loss for the city of Detroit as we're learning tonight about the death of Eric Ford from Detroit 300.
Yeah, Ford was a community activist. He was a fearless advocate for ending gun violence, and he leaves behind a long legacy of fighting to keep Detroit safe. Fox News' Dave Kinchin is live with reaction of some of Ford's family and friends and colleagues.
Yeah, this is a loss that the entire city's really feeling. You know, this is a very tight-knit community. The people who are on the streets day and night trying to stop the gun violence. Eric Ford of Detroit 300 was simply a giant in the movement. Let's go to this video that starts with this picture from Pastor Mo, who took this selfie with Eric Ford yesterday. They were gathering. They had a community meeting, and honestly, he says he just saw him. He never thought something like this would happen. Just yesterday, that meeting took place. Anytime you saw community-led boots on the ground, you saw Eric Ford, 58 years old. He was in that crew reaching out to young people with his team, letting them know you don't get a second chance to rethink your actions if you pull the trigger and take a life on the streets. Chief Todd Bedison of the DPD says Ford was a key part of the city's community violence interruption program, even doing the work before that program was formally created. Ford showed up for the elderly to keep them safe, and the chief says he also mentored the city's youngest residents. Now you'll hear from Ford in a 2023 interview on why violence prevention is so personal to him. But first, some passionate thoughts from a heartbroken Pastor Mo.
Detroit 300 was supposed to have been protecting the ride-along with their lights and making sure the ride-along was safe in the travel part.
What ride-along? Tell us more.
We're going to do in the zone to zone on October the 4th. We're doing the zone to zone to go from each zone in Detroit, from east to the west side, the most hard-hit areas where there's crime, where there's things that's shootings. We're going to those zones. We're going to spread the awareness message. We're going to protect the people where the people that normally don't want to go. And so we're going to do that. And we're going to have a big ride-along with about 500 to 1,000 cars. Never saw this coming. We never saw this coming, man. I just left this man.
My mother was murdered when I was 17, and she was murdered by my father. Now this family hurt, that family hurt, and it lasts forever. I was 17, and I remember it like it was yesterday.
Top cop police chief Todd Bedison said in a statement, Eric was a true superhero to his community in human form. He was my friend, mentor, and the person I called Superman due to his strong stature and how he was never afraid to step up when called. His presence will be truly missed by myself and so many others that he touched. My heart goes out to Eric's wife and children, his Detroit 300 family, and all those whose heart that his passing will leave a void in. We are awaiting word of funeral information. Again, we are told by his family his passing is due to natural causes. Eric Ford, the head of Detroit 300, dead at the age of 58. Reporting live, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
Dave, it's not often that you see someone who is involved in the community get love from people out there in the neighborhoods, but also people in law enforcement. But that speaks to the power of Eric Ford and what he was able to do in changing the landscape for making a lot of our neighborhoods safer.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And as you heard him say back in that interview with Jessica Dubnak back in 2023, it's personal for him. He remembers so vividly when he lost a parent due to gun violence and just how tragic it was for him seeing these young lives lost, lives of all ages lost on city streets. He's been working tirelessly to stop that. We do understand, of course, Detroit 300's mission will continue with the upper ranks of leadership taking over, but many, many heavy hearts tonight, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Eric Ford gone too soon. Our thoughts are with his family and his community and his group, Detroit 300. Dave, we appreciate it. Thank you.
The leaves might be changing, the cider mills might be open, but it still doesn't feel like fall yet.
Leaves changing out where you are?
A little bit.
Okay, all right. Well, Weather Authority Richard Luderman is here. No, I don't see any leaves changing. It's 80, it's sunny, it's nice where I'm at. What about you, Rich?
All of the above. There's A, B, C, D, and all of the above. Sunshine, warm temperatures, colors changing, cider, donuts, you got it. High pressure is parked over the Great Lakes. and that means more of the same. How about some great live shots from Atlanta Airport? Very busy down there, 75 degrees. How about the daytime highs for us today? 82 here, 83 in Chicago, even way up there in Houghton, Michigan. 81 degrees, 82 and 59, your official high and low. A lot of us right now in the mid to lower 60s, and numbers will fall off slowly for the rest of tonight. The winds are very light, and that may once again give rise to some patchy fog through the overnight period. But look at that. Marquette right now, 64 degrees, 71 in Chicago, 68 down in Pittsburgh. There's our high pressure, and it doesn't really move much for the next couple of days. It drifts off to the east. Once again, more sunshine and warmer temperatures for Tuesday and Wednesday and for Thursday. For the rest of tonight, down to 59, very comfortable. Tomorrow, much like today, lots of sunshine, a warm afternoon, 82. Remember, the Tigers are home Tuesday and Wednesday evenings. Thursday afternoon, the weather couldn't be better. And how about that? Down the road, finally some rain chances. And next Monday, we officially welcome fall. Brandon, a full check at 4 a.m.
Well, new tonight, Vice President J.D. Vance is announcing a trip to Michigan. Vice President will be in Howell on Wednesday, speaking at a precision metal stamping facility, discussing the president's tax cut plans and the administration's plans for families.
A Michigan lawmaker